Matt.
Hey, Dave.
How's it going?
Awesome, man.
All right, so here you are. You go to school, you become a doctor, you start your practice, and then you say, "No, wait a minute. I want to be a comedian." Um, why that left turn?
Well, that is a very good question, and a question my parents are still asking themselves. Honestly, I medicine was awesome on paper. I
Yeah.
love the intellectual challenge, but I realized you don't live your life on paper, and I didn't feel my heart was in it to where I trusted myself having people's lives entrusted in my hands,
Yeah.
and so I decided to take some time off. I ended up just to clear my head. I started doing stand up comedy and fell into hosting, and one thing led to another, and it's been over 20 years since I last picked up a stethoscope. And I can't obviously I didn't plot out any of this.
Yeah.
I'm glad I became a doctor. It gave me such a healthy perspective on life. Although I wish I would have left a little earlier because
Yeah.
the debt was pretty severe.
Right.
But Dave, I found what I believe I was meant to do, and I love my job. I absolutely love it.
Do you have any plans later in life to maybe go back to it for a little while?
Dave, at this point, I would probably be more dangerous than a witch doctor from the 1500s. I don't remember anything, and medicine has changed so much.
Right.
So honestly, if I went back to it, it would probably be some hybrid role of more something like an advocate. I've done a lot of work. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I've done
Right.
a lot of work with the Arthritis Foundation. So probably in somewhere in that capacity. But if I ever have to care for a patient again, Dave, something's gone really wrong.
Now, when people come across you and see you, what do they recognize you from?
Ninja Warrior, usually, some from Celebrity Apprentice, and then I've been on a ton of random things. I was on RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race, so I live
Okay.
in West Hollywood, so I get recognized a ton for that.
Yeah.
I do game shows like 25 words or less in Pictionary, so some people recognize me from that. Some people know me from comedy, and honestly, Dave,
Mhm.
I am still thrilled anytime somebody recognizes me. I grew up watching TV and just feeling like it was a million miles away from anything in my world, and now here I am doing it. So it's never lost on me what a ridiculous job I have.
Now, you've had 3 Emmy nominations. I mean, the first time is, oh my gosh, an Emmy nomination, but the third time it comes through, um, is the feeling different because
Yeah,
you
it's like, are
but
we
you
ever
haven't
gonna
won yet?
win?
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Uh, you know what's funny? I don't put too much stock in awards, but anytime you're nominated, Dave, all of a sudden you start dreaming. Well, if I win, here's the
Right.
speech I'll give. But the thing I always say is, I will take another season of the show over an award anytime, and that's what losers say, Dave. When you don't win an award, that's what you say.
All right, 14 seasons of this. I mean, did you ever think it would last as long as it has?
No, in fact, I remember. So I started in season 2, and I remember when my agent called me. He's like, "Hey, there's this show they want you to do.
Mhm.
It's 10 episodes in the summer." He goes, "Honestly, if all 10 of them air, it'll be a huge win for you." And now here we are, 14 years later, with this show that's actually now spawned. It's a sport. There are gyms all across the country. There are leagues where
Mhm.
kids they're not growing up playing little league or pee wee football. They're doing Ninja Warrior, and it's
Mhm.
so amazing to have been a part of the rise of this.
How much of what you're doing is live and how much is taped?
So virtually, probably 80% of what you hear on the show was live.
Mhm.
Akbar and I are up all night. We're calling just about every run.
Mhm.
We'll pick stuff up. So at the top of the show, you'll see me on camera going, "Welcome to American Ninja Warrior." But usually we're setting the stage. That stuff we'll pick up later in post, just because we don't exactly know how the show's going to come together. We don't know the order they're going to put runners in, because sometimes, you'll have someone who ran at the end of the night at the beginning. So those are the kind of things we pick up. But by and large, what you hear is live. And Akbar and I love that, because, you might have watched some of the other shows that are, hovering around obstacles, and you can kind of tell when people are calling it after the fact. And we love that energy of, we're finding out what's happening just as you're seeing it. And so the enthusiasm you hear is real. we've known a lot of these athletes. I mean, some of them have been on since the very beginning. So,
Mm.
we feel we have a vested interest in, we want them all to do well, Dave.
Now, have you tried any of these challenges
Oh
these guys are
God, Dave,
doing?
why do they make you ask this? This is so rude. Yes, Dave.
Yeah.
And the last two times I did
Uh-huh.
it, I broke my foot and I broke my ankle. And Akbar always, he never misses an opportunity to point that out, because the last time he did it, he hit a buzzer.
Now, as far as you being the big time celebrity you are today, um,
Yes.
are are there things that you can't do in public that when you were younger you could?
Well, my girlfriend always asks me that too, because I tend to be very extroverted.
Hmm.
No, you know what? Listen, I was never a crazy dude. I mean, look, I was a doctor when I was younger,
Right.
so I was pretty straight laced. And honestly, I felt like I got out to Hollywood. I was in my late 20s. I'd kind of missed the boat on being totally crazy. So there's not much. Now, having said that, I'm sure I'm going to go out and do something, Dave. And people are going to go, what the hell was he thinking doing that in public?
Well, we've loved watching you on TV all these years, all the different shows you've been a part of. Whether it's a cameo or like with Clean Sweep, you did that one too. We love watching you on that
Oh,
one.
yeah, it's great.
And then The Apprentice with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that was a good one
Oh,
too.
that's my favorite.
Um, American Ninja Warrior, can't wait to see what happens this season. It's been great talking to you, Matt, and we can't wait to see what you're doing next.
Dave, really appreciate it, bud.
Thank you.